What's up guys, Valence Ring here, and I wanted to bring you another video, and this one I want to talk about basically, is puzzles and survival getting harder for free-to-play players? I know it can seem like that, but I want to talk about it and help you guys out, especially if you're feeling any kind of frustration whatsoever. It's part of the game, unfortunately, and of course, as we've talked about in other videos, yes, Puzzles and Survival is a pay-to-win game like most player versus player games. So I don't want that to be what determines if you play the game or not, because the game can be a lot of fun even if you aren't spending any money. It definitely helps, and it can definitely make it more enjoyable, but that's how the game stays in business, so that is their goal. The main reason I wanted to even talk about this is because I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of players. You can see I get messaged constantly, which is great. I appreciate it, and I was talking with Meowbius, if I'm saying that correctly. And basically, we were talking about how, some things have changed. Fifth day of Ace Commander, certain things aren't counting for points. And we were talking about different things about reinforcement. But mostly, we were talking about how the events have shifted. So normally, this is day 6 of Ultimate Trial Global Ace Commander. And normally, we want to do very well in Global Ace Commander, and I had other videos about Global Ace Commander and Alliance Showdown matching up. Well, as you can see, there is no Alliance Showdown right now. We have Global Ace Commander, but no Alliance Showdown. If we check the upcoming, we'll see that Alliance Showdown is actually starting tomorrow or after reset. So this is going to be the week in between Global Ace Commanders. One of the best things I liked about Alliance Showdown previously was that it linked up very well with Global Ace Commander. In addition, because there were 3 days of break loose in between or during Global Ace Commander, you could triple up or even quadruple up sometimes these events and do one thing and maximize your benefits. And that's great, especially for free-to-play players. So is the game getting harder for free-to-play players or players that don't want to spend a lot of money? And I want to say that it definitely will seem that way. But the reason, generally speaking, that the game developers change this stuff, it's not just for monetization, although that is a strong factor. Another reason that they do this is to kind of slow down the growth of everybody overall. Now, that's where it encourages monetization, because people that don't want to wait and want to continue pushing growth can spend some money to allow them to kind of jump ahead. And that's always going to be a factor of the game. You can't let that discourage you, or you shouldn't. That's my opinion. So what can we do? So what the game developers have done is create a variety of bottlenecks. And this is for free-to-play players, or the majority of players that aren't spending just tons and tons of money. The bottlenecks are there to help limit growth, obviously incentivize monetization, but to limit growth and kind of balance it out. And believe it or not, game developers are not only interested in the amount of money you're spending, but how much time you're playing the game. It doesn't help them if you play the game for a month, spend $10 and then never play again. That doesn't help them. That doesn't help anybody. So now they would rather see someone that spent $1 a month. Hopefully you spend $1 a month over the course of years of play, and that's going to benefit the company more. So they care more about playtime than anything. So if they see that you're able to, like, let's say when Eva first came out, which is now Nova, when Eva first came out, there were 20 attempts a day, interaction attempts, but you only got one bonus per day. And this was at a very low level. I think my Eva was I'm talking level 14, level 15. I was getting almost 20 interaction attempts a day. So I was able to get a lot of points. She was leveling up very, very fast. And they said, okay, we got to change this because it's just too fast. And another thing was that because you had 20 interaction attempts a day, you actually had to be online for longer and to get those rewards. But it really rewarded people that were on for, say, hours and hours or or that checked in 5 times a day, while that kind of hurt other players that were a little bit more casual. So they balanced it out. And they said, okay, well, the growth is too fast and people have to spend too much time focused on EVA. So they reduced the amount of interaction attempts, but they doubled the reward. Now, it didn't work out to the exact same number. It actually worked out to less rewards. So they slowed down the progress, but allowed more casual players to do it, to be able to complete all the attempts. So this was actually great for casual or free-to-play players that don't want to invest tons and tons of time, but it also allowed for long-term growth of that one aspect of the game. So this means that players are going to play longer, have goals that they want to reach, which of course does incentivize monetization. I don't want to take away from that, but it allows for a more balanced gameplay because people aren't just shooting ahead. Honestly, I did most of my EVA buildups in a very short period of time early on in the game, and I'm kind of glad they did back it off, because when I originally looked at it, I was like, I'm going to max this out in 2 months. And that's not the case. Obviously, I've been playing for 6 months or longer, and still not maxed out, which is great. So anytime that they do these things, they backed off Alliance Showdown, they switched it out of Global Ace Commander. This also allows people that have maxed out or set, like I have a 5 Red Star Obsidian and a +6 Atropos Red Star. Maybe I don't care so much about the rewards from Global Ace Commander. Maybe I don't need to be, get these Epic Hero Choice cards. I don't need to be in the top 5% or the top 1%. I'm happy to get them, and I'm still going to participate, but I'm not trying to be, get the 80 frags each week for that. This will actually allow me to spend some of those resources that I've saved on Alliance Showdown and some of the events that come with that. So I could work on Phoenix frags per se, or maybe they're coming out with the perfect hero frags. So that was another change. They changed from Nuka Land, instead of regular frags, now you get the perfect hero frags. Okay, so the perfect hero frags can be used for any hero that you already own. And that's great as long as you own it, excluding Scarlet, Ironclaw, Agent X, Eve, and Leah. Now, those are special heroes that you have to get very specific ways. But the 5-star hero perfect frags, it looks like you get a little bit less than what you were getting, and you were able to get I believe it was Phoenix, maybe Lady M, or whoever the case it used to be. Now it's a perfect hero frag. So you have to get the heroes from a different way, but now you can use it here. But the benefit is that there are some events that for some players are really difficult to beat. So for instance, Reservoir War, if you aren't in a very strong alliance with a couple really strong heavy hitters, chances are you guys never do well in Reservoir War. And I've seen shutouts where you get 0 points. And if you get 0 points, you don't even get the loser rewards. So what's the benefit to that? But if you can get Lavina from other ways, now these perfect hero frags can be used in lieu of, instead of fighting in Reservoir War. So the game developers are always trying to balance out these events for a variety of players. They want to maximize the time that we're investing and the amount of time that we intend to play the game, and they do want to incentivize monetization for those that are willing to spend the money. But they are splitting up the events, they're moving them around, they shift the time frame sometimes, and that's why it's hard to keep track of all the events. And people ask me to do event videos like, what do I need for this, or what do I need for that? And one of the difficulties with that is the game developers are constantly trying to change some of those things so that it's I want to say more difficult, but so that it's more balanced across the board, or so that there are other methods or other things that you need to do. You have to basically kind of constantly pay attention and figure out what you need. At any rate, that being said, I wanted to talk about that. And the other thing I want to talk about is that, ever since the game started, there have always been built-in bottlenecks. And these bottlenecks are what is designed to slow down gameplay and force you to build in different areas than you might want to build. Like if you're specializing in shooters and you say, I want just shooter heroes. Well, to really do that, you have to do well in certain events. And to do well in those events, you have to have other heroes. And for instance, Ultimate Challenge. Ultimate Challenge is a great test of where you're at overall, because each of these heroes, every 5th level is a new challenge that is extraordinarily difficult. And you'll notice that, like, this is 215 is green and blue, and then 220 is purple and gold. So you have to be able to have a variety of heroes that can do a variety of things. Just purple for 200, and I know a lot of people aren't necessarily up this high yet, but 180 is all red, and that's a very difficult board. 170, I think, is where you get your Iron Claw frags. Great, but at any rate, so that's a bottleneck, and it's designed that you can't get too high in that unless you're more balanced as a player. So one of the first bottlenecks that everybody will remember is getting wood as a resource. Wood, your headquarters, everything required a large amount of wood, it seemed, but you didn't have enough troops, you didn't have enough marches, so you gathering was difficult. You weren't gathering the biggest tiles, whatever the case may be. So it seemed like wood was impossible to get. And then next thing you know, it's like, who needs wood? Wood is so easy to get. That's a bottleneck. During that time period, during that transition, it's very difficult to get from one level to the next. But then it goes down to, it went from wood to blue books, and everybody knows the dreaded blue books. I think I still need blue books. It just seems like a never-ending stream of getting blue books. And if I can let me see someone who I can enhance to the next, or evolve to the next level. See, I still need 190 blue books, and that's a bottleneck. Blue books don't go up in campaign very much. From after level 20, you're getting pretty much the same amount of blue books no matter what level you raid, but you need lots and lots of them to level up all your heroes. And then it gets to red books, because red books are a little bit harder to obtain. You have to get into hard campaign too, but that's what allows you to red star your heroes. So if I actually come in here, you'll see you need 2,000 of these. I barely have enough to do my next 6-star hero. That's the next bottleneck. It wants to make sure you're not blowing through and just getting massively big. And now we're at a new bottleneck that is going to be created, and that's the nano weapons. So it may seem like it takes quite some time to get enough nano weapon material to do what you want to do, and you'll notice that the material production timeline and the crafting timeline aren't quite matched up, and it also can take up to 3 times of material production to get one craftable item. So that's, again, it's a type of bottleneck. You have to choose, do I want to wait and be patient, or do I want to spend money? But it's important to know that nano weapons are such a huge improvement to your might, or have the potential to be, that's why there's a strong bottleneck here. It's not to hurt the free-to-play players, it's actually to prevent even the people that are spending money from just obliterating everybody in a week. So it's even going to take them time, even if they are spending a lot of money, to get everything up there so that they're getting some of these crazy weapons. You see, my best weapon is an epic incinerator, and I was very lucky to get that. And everything else is just kind of all these commons and uncommons. So even if, these people are spending a lot of money, it's going to take time. So it's not just to hurt free-to-play players. It's designed to balance out the game and extend the length of time that people are playing. So with the event shifts, you had Break Loose kind of moves around every 2 weeks. The type of event that it does is every 2 weeks. You have Global Ace Commander, no longer tied in with Alliance Showdown. And then, of course, the Trials of Survival, which also, it goes from the middle of the week to the end of the week. It's designed so it's not as easy to kind of double up on these, but it will allow you to still do other events and save for those events and do well in that. So I really want to talk about that because I get a lot of questions about it, and I know that free-to-play players can get frustrated feeling like they're not able to get somewhere. But I will say this: saving everything that you get, your rewards, your boxes, everything, save everything that you possibly can, and when you do see an event for that and you have enough to maximize that event, then use it. And early on, that's harder to do because you're trying to build up and to be able to do more things. And you should definitely focus on building up, even if it's not necessarily the best time. But in the long run, if you do plan on playing this game for a long term, which I hope you do because I enjoy it myself, then invest the time, save what you get, and then use it for events that you can maximize those rewards and boost up your heroes with frags or boost up your gear with the gear rewards, the module promoters, the chip promoters, all of that stuff, and build it up. And save your resources for those big upgrades. Headquarters are very expensive, as you can see here. It takes time. So be patient, and if you're a free-to-play player, I totally get the frustration, and it seems like it's getting harder. The other thing that everyone mentions is zombie layers. The boxes almost never seem to drop the frags like it used to. I could open one of these up, and as you can see, I got a 4-star hero choice card. That's a level 34 layer. You would think I would have a higher chance of getting a 5-star hero choice card, but as you can see, I opened all of mine on day 5 of GAC and I only have 44, but I did get a bunch of 4-star hero choice cards. So that is also a way that it's a bottleneck. They felt like they were dropping too often instead of not often enough. So unfortunately, if you've been playing this game a while, as the developers change things and try to balance things out, it's going to seem like they're taking stuff away from you. But the intent isn't just to make more money, although that is their primary intent, is to make money. When they balance out the game, it is designed to provide a certain degree of fairness and a certain level of equalness across the board, especially for the players that are free to play. So at any rate, guys, I know this is kind of like a rant, and I honestly, I hope it helps. I like the game, and I like playing with you guys. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments section below. Don't be afraid to be a free-to-play player in this game and still enjoy yourself. Find a good alliance and work on those rewards and become a pack rat. Save everything. I'll have a video later on events and what you need to save for them. So that's everything, guys. Like the video if it helps. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos on puzzles and survival. And as always, thanks for watching.